people. How are you? Let me fix myself here since I'm popping out in all the wrong places. So yes, sorry that we're like, hi, how are ya? Hi, how you doing? Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? Sorry that our faces aren't really in the frame that great.
Here we
but
are.
We're just gonna do it like this. Okay, so
7 fucking 16, the glow that rocks the cradle.
How's everybody's night going? How's your night going, Gianna?
It'll be better if you stop blowing bubbles on my phone, thanks.
Oh, that was a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so, what happens? So, Marco Polo is, he pissed me off a little bit in this episode, not gonna lie. Although I am a
Zarko fan?
No, I'm a Sparko fan.
I'm a Zarko fan. Marco.
Yeah, okay, but I'm a Sparko fan. I like the two of them together. This is Sparko!
I will
like
say
the two
what
of
the
them.
fuck I said on Twitter, where the physic is Ren fucking Kingston.
Like, they were just like, oh, let's just tease people.
Yeah, and the return of Ren, and poof, he's gonzo.
Return of the Ren.
There it is, return of the Ren.
Okay, so
gone.
Marco Polo decides to not like trust Spencer at all.
Duh.
So Spencer goes a little bitch crazy on him and steals a little flash drive that says Lucas's name on it.
She steals a little Lucas, but she goes there asking for him to kind of like
Let it go,
cover it up, and he's like, no, and leaves the room. Duh. So she takes the flash drive. Next thing you know, he's giving her a call, and he's like, well, a little bit later in the episode, he's calling her, and he's like, yeah, you should give that back to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
If I took that flash drive, it would mean that I was in your apartment, alone, at night. What would people think about that? And then he's like, click. Okay, so Arya is doing all the dirty deeds for ADDD. And I'm just not feeling it. I'm like, what could possibly be in that file?
The thing of it is, though, that I'm excited to see Arya donning that black hoodie. I've waited for it for a long time. Not that I've ever thought that she's really involved. I mean, at some points, they did have red herrings towards her, let's face it. Because she's never been hurt, like we've always talked about. But, yeah, what the physic is in that file that could possibly... Like, does she know what's in that file? Well, she has to have some kind of an inkling as to what's in it.
Well, you don't just do stuff because somebody's like, I have something on you. And I'd be like, okay, well then tell me what you have on me.
Well, the fuck you don't. Because in this show, that's all they do. Because they have stuff on them and they do stupid shit.
But my problem with that is the fact that, okay, what is the worst thing that could be in that file that can get him arrested?
That's what doesn't make any sense.
Like, even if she confessed to a psychologist and say that this is like all her shit from going to see a psychologist and shit like that, and she told the psychologist, oh, well, I had sex with my teacher a bunch of times, and I've seen my teacher. All, it's still only hearsay. Like,
but the thing of it is, though, that even so, the worst that the psychologist could do is let her parents, you know, become privy to that situation, which they already were.
But it doesn't, yeah, they already were, but that doesn't even make sense. I thought the only way, like, a psychologist or something, or like...
If you're under the age of 18, they can...
Oh, okay. Well, even so. So then, anything that could be in that file about Ezra that'll make him go to jail, her parents would have already had to have been aware of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Correct?
We would assume so, yeah, we would assume.
Even if not, even if it was, like, about her dating Ezra, even if she was pregnant at one point and got an abortion, anything like this, it's not, like, you can't prove it. Like, I could sit there and
It's not like somebody's going to come at you and be like, you impregnated her, and we're going to take you to jail now for it.
Yeah, like, okay. I could go to a psychologist, right? Like, I could have went to a psychologist when I was, like, 17, and, like... You know, like, if I was, like, some crazy kind of person, I could have been like, oh, I had sex with my teacher. They might investigate it, but they can't do anything without having any proof.
Right.
Like, and even so, like, it happened so long ago he's no longer a teacher.
He's no longer her teacher, right?
He's no longer a teacher.
He's no longer a teacher, and he's no longer her teacher.
Yeah.
And now, I mean...
They're getting married, for Christ's sake. Like, they're literally engaged to each other. Like,
ergo, I don't think it has anything to do with their relationship.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but what could Arya possibly have told a psychologist about Ezra that we, as viewers, do not know?
Exactly.
That could get him in trouble.
Exactly. She had to...
And it's got to be something that you could prove.
On top of that, though, there has to be something that she is scared about, because otherwise she'd call AD on their bluff and be like, sorry, I never said anything. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but fuck you.
Yeah, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm, like, kind of curious as to how they're going to pull this off. And I'm telling you, I think that they're going to go the route of, like, him getting arrested, like she got an abortion or something. Again, how are you going to prove that?
Which is going to be so fucking stupid, though, because it's going to be like...
She could have fucked some random guy in a bar, and even if she was seeing Ezra at the time, there's no proof. If you got an abortion, there's no proof to who that kid is. We know she didn't fucking carry a kid full term and give it up for adoption.
Truth of the matter is, though, think about this, and I'm not trying to get into dark subjects, but oftentimes, if somebody wants to get somebody in trouble, and somebody says, this person did this, sometimes there's no truth to that equation, and those people wind up having to be investigated and get into trouble. Therefore, if something was said about him at that point in time, the psychologist should have taken proper precautions to see what was going on. Therefore, years later, that's not going to hold up in court.
Like, yeah, there's nothing, like, okay, if we're thinking logically, as real people in the real world, okay, I'm not talking about PLL because fucking Jesus Christ, you could walk down the street and say you murdered somebody and it doesn't even matter. But if she was talking to a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever the case may be, you would think anything that can implicate somebody,
right,
would have already been touched on.
Exactly.
While she was going through her sessions.
That's exactly what I mean.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. I'm trying to dumb it down for the people out there that are like me. That's all. Just trying to dumb it down for this. Because, you know, me. Okay. But I'm over that. I'm over the whole Nicole and Ezra fucking book / saga. I'm over it.
I'm so fucking over Nicole.
If I hear Nicole's name...
That if I hear someone with the name Nicole, I'm going to wind up punching her in the face. If somebody comes up to me and introduces themselves as Nicole... chances are, I might punch you.
Sorry, we can't be friends.
Sorry, peace. I'm over that whole situation. I'm sick of them bringing up her name. At least he had the fucking brass cojones, balls in Italian, to sit there and tell the people while on his book tour that he is engaged to Arya.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about time you grew a set, asshole. Because 5 seconds ago, you were trying to hop a plane back to Nicole's fucking panties. So, anyway.
Okay, Caleb destroys the paperwork in the thing, which, I mean, can we, like, maybe just talk about those for a second? Okay. If you, like, put a paper in water, can't you just, like, dry it off?
I mean, yeah.
So then, I'm not really sure what
it depends, though.
Happened there. But, I mean, they did leave their fingerprints all over that place.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Because, again, Hannah does not listen when he speaks. She should listen when he speaks, because she did not want him to do that and destroy paperwork.
Yeah. Okay, so that happened. Then, let's fast forward here. Okay, so Arya breaks into the nursery, great, whatever. She leaves the little fucking tweedly fucking...
earring on the floor.
Yeah, the earring on the floor. And she cuts her arm on the way out, which...
Well, she scratched her arm on the way out. It was like
let's be real here. There was blood everywhere on the thing.
Yeah, like she opened a vein, but you look at her arm and it's like...
I said it looks like MJ took his nail and just went... I've gotten worse scratches, okay, from my son. Anyway, So this bitch, all ballsy and shit, fucking breaking and entering into houses. Okay. Can we discuss the whole Lucas thing? So we see that Lucas actually retracted his alibi for Hannah and the night that Cece was murdered. Which, when did he retract that? The night that he gave his first alibi, which leads me to believe, like, why nobody looked at, like, why was it, like, so long of a period where nobody's really even looked into the girls? Like, there has to be a reason that she would need an alibi and ask him to lie for her, so we haven't heard anything about that. But I'm sure we will in next week's episode. Okay, that happened, and then with the whole comics, okay. Can we discuss the fact that, okay, Lucas was writing comics with Chuckarooski. Charles and Lucas stayed in touch via email. That's all. So he didn't even know that Charles became Cece. And I put quotations around it because I still don't believe that Cece is Charles. So he didn't know that Cece even was Charles. He, I guess, like, disclosed all this information via email about how these girls tortured him and this and that, and this is where it all fucking began. But can we discuss the fact that, first of all, the impression that we got from Cece was, from a very, very early age, she knew that she... Now, I'm saying this from Cece's perspective, not that it's the truth.
From what we were told in the
told.
episode.
Yes.
Game over, Charles.
So Cece says that she knew from an early age that Charles wanted to become a girl. We knew this from a very early age. So we saw Charles dressing up in Radley. So what makes me think that it's a little weird is the fact that, don't you think Charles would have disclosed that information to his best friend if that was the case?
So.
And at some point down the line would have. Like, at any point down the line.
Whether it be in the camp that they went together to for people that have, like... Issues. But
at that point, or the whole time that they continued to email. Like, you would think that would have been something that Charles would have said to one of his good friends.
Because if somebody wants to...
Especially, really quick, I'm sorry. Especially if Charles is now torturing these girls because of Lucas. Like, making it seem like almost like, oh no, you fucked with my friend, so now I'm gonna fuck with you. Well, if he's that good of a friend, how come he didn't know
he didn't know that you wanted to be a
girl,
female?
Yes. How come he had no inkling whatsoever? Like, he was oblivious to the fact that it was in fact Cece. Not even that it was in fact Cece, but that you had these feelings at all. Which, I mean,
that is to say that, exactly, because that is to say that if you were hiding the fact that you wanted to become a female, perhaps you wouldn't have said anything. But you fully went through with the change, and basically, I mean, to anyone, well, I mean, let's face it, it's Vanessa Ray, she's a female. But to anyone looking at Charlotte, you know that it's a female. So why wouldn't you say anything to Lucas if he was such a friend of yours?
Not even if you don't want to, like, disclose, like, actually who you are. If you're trying to, like, be, like, low on the radar and you don't want to ruin your A-plan, I get it. But you could still disclose. Like,
let's do another one. All right, hold on.